really in the last 10 months, because it started on March 23rd of last year. Hannah Cifers, meanwhile, 2 straight wins in the strawweight division after her short notice UFC debut against Macy Barber. And she'll look for 3 in a row tonight. Small underdog Hannah Cifers is in the blue with the black top. Angela Hill the favorite in the gray.
Angela said she wanted to really put a high pace on Hannah. Overwhelm her with her activity. But if you've seen Hannah Cifers fight before, you know that she doesn't get overwhelmed. She usually is the one fighting going forward.
Yeah, well, if you look at the 2 frames, clearly Angela is the bigger person.
Yes.
She's the longer person. And I'll say, you know, probably the better technical fighter. But Hannah, this is what she wants. This is the type of fight she wants, to close the distance and just swing. And when that happens, you know, that's when she's at her best. Her last fight against, I think it was Poliana Biana, you know, 2 fights ago, she dropped her in one of those exchanges. So if it stays a technical fight that Angela needs to do, I favor Angela. But if it turns into a brawl, Hannah's very capable of winning this fight.
Cifers with 2 appearances in 2019, won both of those. Poliana Viana in March of last year in Las Vegas, and then also fought in Anaheim last summer. Got that win over Jody Escobel. Meanwhile, Angela Hill, one of her most impressive performances to date came in Mexico City in September against Ariane Carnelosi, in which the doctor stopped it because of a brutal cut in the 3rd rounds. Hill was putting that striking background to work.
If I'm Angela Hill, I'm just staying in that range and I'm just popping the jab.
Yeah.
The jab hasn't missed one time. When she goes in the range and she tries to exchange the combinations, Hannah's actually landing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. She's choosing to stand in the pocket and throw hooks and uppercuts and short-range shots. She's got the reach, she's got the height. Angela just needs to step back and just pump the jab out. Let Hannah.
From this range, she's giving Hannah problems.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah Cifers grew up on her family's farm in Wake Forest, North Carolina. About 40 minutes outside of the Raleigh-Durham area. She's got that farm strength. I mean, you shake this girl's hand and it's like, mind your P's and Q's, mister.
Yeah, the problem for Angela right now, not necessarily that it's a problem, but not advantageous to her game plan, is that she's fighting at Hannah's range.
Yeah.
She's standing in the pocket and exchanging short-range blows with Hannah, which is, you know, I'm not saying she's losing, not saying she's winning, but she's playing the game that Hannah needs to play. Angela needs to step back and, as you said, pump that jab, use some kicks.
Trading combinations, finished with a kick. And now they come into the clinch here as Cifers look to get busy. But Hill instead applying the knees.
Hannah seems to want to counter. When Angela comes in range is when she starts to throw her strikes. She isn't leading. She hasn't led one of these exchanges. It's this, right? Angela comes close. Hannah tries to throw punches and bunches.
Yeah, it's like a minimum 3-punch combination every time.
And for the 2nd straight time when they clinched up, it was Hill who was able to kind of control things and back Hannah Cifers up to the fence.
That goes back to what Michael was saying, right? She's a little bigger.
Look at this, though.
Cifers getting loose a little bit. 40 seconds to go, round 1.
That's what Hannah needs to do. She needs to try and back Angela up against the fence, give her nowhere to go, and really take away that length and height advantage. Once she's backed up against the fence, now she's in Hannah's world. She can let go with those long combinations. Look to mix in the takedown. Of course, she's got to be careful of the elbows from Angela. That's one of her favorite weapons. But look at that. That's a really nice combination from Hannah. And it's high-paced stuff from both of them.
Yeah, and Angela's landing a lot, too. You know, she's landing really well, too, even in those exchanges. That was a nice right hand just landed.
Big shot for Hill, end of the first round. Second round coming up.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat, Hannah. Hannah, you're waiting too much, okay? That left hand, that high jab has to work, and you have to step in. You keep waiting that right hand too much, okay? I want to see you going 4, okay? And I want 4 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, okay?
So we're going to keep that level. Okay. Keep that pressure. We're going to pick it up a bit. Just keep working. Perfect. Control that clinch. Control that clinch. You're doing real good. Keep her uncomfortable. Keep the pace.
Two weeks from tonight, the UFC 247 prelims get the night going on ESPN from Houston, Texas. The featured bout pits knockout artist Trevin Giles against Contender Series alum Antonio Arroyo. A 4-pack of prelims at 8 Eastern, all leading into the pay-per-view event headlined by John Jones and Dominic Reyes. Well, DC, you saw that cross from Angela Hill, and then that spinning back fist landed right at the end of that first round.
Yeah, right at the end of the first round, she landed a real nice spinning back fist. Hannah Cifers' corner says she's waiting too much. You know, as we said earlier, she's trying to counter, but they don't want her to wait. They want her to try to be the one going first.
Charging forward first that time is Cifers.
Yeah, it paid off there.
Trevor Whitman is with us throughout the night. Trevor, your thoughts?
So Cifers' corner was asking her to be first, and you got 2 ways to get to make it happen being the smaller fighter. You can either counter, sit back, and wait for them to punch and let them close the gap, or you got to close the gap. Angela Hill's doing a great job of keeping her on her heels. That's easier said than done. Angela Hill usually throws lots of punches, but she's got more conviction in this fight. I like that she's going out there and trying to put a stamp on it. I've always thought she had really good skills. But if she just steps in and digs hard, I think it'll change her career. And I'm really liking what Angela Hill's doing.
Yeah, totally agree. She's also checking the leg kicks really nicely, just turning the knee out, blocking the kicks. And as you say, she just... there we go.
Sweet.
That's a good game changer. But as you were saying, Trevor, if you just put a little more sting, plant the feet a little bit more, she'd really put Hannah on the back foot.
When you get to that tie clinch there, most times people expect knees, right? So they start to protect their body, protect their head. They forget about the feet. Beautiful switch of the angle by Angela Hill, hitting that foot sweep from that tie clinch.
And here we might see the groundwork come into play. Angela was telling us this week, been working a lot with Wilson Hayes, obviously, a very high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner. Been pushing Angela hard in training camp, so a lot of good downward pressure here and full side control. Just making sure she maintains the position here. Sometimes when they take someone down, they get a little too hasty. They start raining down blows and then they give the space.
This is about to pass the full.
And they lose the position. But yeah, you're right. Almost
three-quarter mount. Yep, three-quarter mount here.
Oh!
Halfway through the second round, so plenty of time to work here for Hill. If she were to notch a submission victory, it would be her first.
Oh.
But instead, perhaps just
I tell you what, she starts dropping elbows.
Nice elbow.
They're nasty. That is nasty.
And look at Hannah trying to just branch out of this position. She's got to put her hands on Angela's hips to start trying to strip to recollect half guard at least.
Hannah's going to get on her side. Get on her side and use the elbows to push on the knees. But the problem is, Angela is so high. She's right under the armpits. Makes it almost impossible.
And now just trying the body lock is Cifers.
Hannah can roll onto her shoulders and try and escape that way. Try and bring the feet up really high. Sometimes that can work, but at this point here, this is bad. She's got good control, really riding her well, and she's going to drop more elbows.
Well, Hannah's just trying to buck and move out of there. She's not really trying to use technical skills to get away. She's got to use her hands. All she's doing is trying to bridge, use her legs to get out of this position.
But the thing is that the knees are right under the armpits, and that makes it almost impossible for Hannah.
Then she's got to turn side to side.
Elbows.
Yes, she's got to get on her side.
Hill.
Got to get on her side.
Angela Hill is beating her up right now.
I'm saying, she is a nasty woman.
Still more than a minute to work.
Oh, man.
The DNA of Cifers.
Those elbows, man, those elbows.
Right now.
The referee's watching. Some of them are being blocked, but some are getting through, and I'm telling you, those pointy little elbows, they will slice the skin.
The ref wants to stop it. Cifers is going to have to do something.
McDonald taking a close look.
3 more elbows and the ref's going to stop.
Now covering up. That's it. Second straight.